Well, you know, and just changing channels just slightly here, you know, one of the things that the candidate for county judge, Clarissa Gonzalez, had brought out, and I thought was interesting, was the disparity between the Valley and we hear how it affects us not only then, but with Salomon Ortiz up in Washington. Who gets what happened because of the voter base. I mean, the Valley is booming. How do you reconcile why the Valley's economy has been churning and burning, and here we have some stagnation?
Yeah, well, part of it has to do with obviously the population explosion that's occurred in the Valley, and plus the influx of people from Mexico that have come in who become citizens and everything. But at the same time, I think that the leadership in the Valley has stayed ahead of the curve in terms of infrastructure, and for whatever reason, we've always been playing catch up. The problem is that once the population explosion was occurring in the Valley, their leadership was trying to stay ahead of the game as much as possible. At the same time, our population growth was not occurring in Corpus Christi, and therefore we were a little hesitant to really make some long-term plans and to really move us in that direction in anticipation of that growth. And so if you sit back and don't plan for the future and to really look out and be visionary about some of those things. I mean, thank goodness that we had the city had the visionary, then Mary Rhodes had, and the city council had the vision to provide the water infrastructure, because water will be the #1 resource that everybody's going to be fighting over into the future. And without water, you can't sustain business, you can't sustain quality of life. There's a lot of things that you can't do without water. We can't do without it. And so, but again, I mean, it goes without saying that you've got to be able to always be looking extremely long term in those decisions that have been made. And I think that in years past, before I came onto the political scene along with others, there were some really bad decisions that were being made by the city. Our forefathers that were here before us made some really bad decisions. While the city of San Antonio was taking advantage of urban renewal dollars and did the river walk and did all that infrastructure and all of that, we were saying no to urban renewal dollars. I mean, dollars that were, and I mean, incidentally, and this was all money that was being put together under the Nixon and Ford administration. I mean, urban renewal.
I remember urban renewal in the 70s.
And so all of those, so a lot of those things that were put in place were, I mean, we didn't take advantage of. I mean, we didn't take advantage of 34 years. We didn't take advantage of the opportunity to create a 4-year university until just 20 years ago. We had an opportunity 20 years before then to do it, and we had this constant fight between Kingsville and Corpus about whether or not Corpus should have one or not, and as a consequence, we said back, it is now, the Island University is now the fastest growing university in the entire state of Texas, and continues to grow. But at the end of the day, we're 2 decades behind. I mean, think of what would have meant.
We've got to catch up.
What would have meant to Corpus and the coast of Bend had that university already would have been in existence for over 40 years.
Well, and we've got a minute left, but I always give deference to our guests. Closing arguments. What do you want to say to get out that vote, Mr. Berlanga? What do you have to say to get out not only the youth, but get those people that have become disenchanted with the process? We got to get them out.
Yeah, no, we cannot give up hope, and we cannot give up our faith in the process. I mean, this is the greatest democracy that we have, and we should take advantage of it. We have other countries around the world where voters are not able to participate. They don't even have a participation. Totalitarian government, dictatorships. I mean, here we have the freedom to participate and to elect those individuals that we feel best represent our views. And I think that we're on the cutting edge of hopefully being able to re-energize what's been done in the last election cycle and to try to move it forward. And I think we have a great opportunity to elect some really unbelievable young candidates to serve our community, and at the same time, some of the people that have been here for a while. I mean, we have a good smorgasbord of people that we get to choose from, and I think that's what's the beauty of the process. But we cannot give up on the process, because at the end of the day, it's still the best process anywhere in the world.
Amen.
And that we have to continue to participate and to be involved to make a difference. And believe me, there's been too many races in years past. We had some over in Jim Wells, where a justice of the peace was decided over a couple of votes. I mean, so one vote does make a difference.
It does make a difference.
And some of these races could very well be very close, and it could very make a difference. Somebody's vote, somebody in that neighborhood, somebody out there somewhere in this county their participation could well be the difference between somebody winning and losing, and whether we have a change in a philosophy and in a direction for this community to move forward with. And so it's extremely important, and hopefully everybody will take the opportunity, if you're not registered to vote, to register. If you're turning 18, you have an opportunity to vote in the first election, coming up. And for those who are already registered to vote, to be motivated, to understand what the issues are, and to go get educated on those candidates. And let's get out there and participate, regardless of who you want to vote for, but you're going to have a chance to, and some quality candidates to choose from. But let's all participate in the process, and I think that's what makes our community better in the long run.
Well, you've been listening to Hugo Berlanga, and I want to thank you for coming by. It has been an honor. I mean, former Speaker Pro Tem, a mover, a shaker. You have made a lot of contributions to South Texas. I hope you come by as the election cycle and the full contact sport of politics goes on. I want you to come by. And tell Theo Todd to stop by, too. I miss him.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by. We'll be back after these messages.
Thank you.
Each year, millions of Americans are severely injured or killed on our highways and trucking accidents needlessly. Motorists near the border are especially vulnerable. The law offices of Joe Flores can help provide you with information if you or a loved one has suffered a serious injury as a result of a negligent truck driver. Joe Flores is backed by extensive experience as a trial lawyer and a medical professional. Joe Flores can provide you with a prompt and accurate case evaluation. Contact us toll-free today, 888-259-5721 for a free consultation. The law offices of Joe Flores. Equal justice for all.
Each year, millions of dollars are lost to healthcare fraud. The elderly and the poor are the most vulnerable. Every day, unscrupulous healthcare providers are submitting false claims to the government's Medicaid and Medicare programs. The state and federal government are offering rewards for information leading to the successful prosecution of these cases. For more information, contact the law offices of Joe Flores. With his experience in the medical profession and as a trial lawyer, Joe Flores can provide you more information on how to fight healthcare fraud. Law offices of Joe Flores, equal justice for all.
Hi, this is Joe Flores, attorney and host of South Texas Crossfire, reminding all my Latin brothers and sisters to get out there and vote. Remember, Latinos, es su derecho y también necesitan salir a votar because it matters. Your vote matters. You need to get out there and you need to exercise your vote. You need to hold those leaders accountable. South Texas Crossfire strongly recommends that if you are not involved, you've got to get involved. As the fastest growing population, Hispanics not only have the privilege, but they need the right and they have the duty to get out there and vote and hold their leaders accountable this election season. So get out there and vote.